Group G, Switzerland. Let's have a look. The 15th ranked FIFA team in the world, Switzerland. Quarterfinal finishes of 1934, 1938, 1954. Commendable draws home and away against European champions Italy set the foundation for Switzerland to impressively qualify for Qatar automatically as Group C winners. Murat Yakin's side sealed their spot at the end of their unbeaten campaign with an emphatic 4-0 win over Bulgaria to capitalize on the Azzurri's statement in Northern Ireland, and Yakin sent a load of Swiss chocolate to the Northern Ireland team as a thank you for the part they played in his team's progress. Okay, so they are one of those unicorn teams that are bringing 4 keepers here. Not a big deal. And kind of confused though, because Jan Sommer and Kobel are pretty fucking good. I don't know what the point of bringing 2 more is. So many midfielders here. They probably realistically put Shaqiri in the attack here. What has Switzerland been up to? Oh my God, the number one thing I see here, Switzerland has not played a fucking friendly yet. Not a single one. Very shocking in my opinion. I will say, just going back here, the depth on their midfield is pretty crazy though. I feel like they just have a lot of decent talent. Not insane individual talent, just a lot of decent talent in the midfield. One of those squads that strikes me as they've all played together for a bit, so they kind of know how they kind of gel well together. That could be my expectation for Switzerland, right? A squad that doesn't look sexy on paper, doesn't have crazy individual talent, but they have enough solid talent and they've played with each other for a while now at this point where they may be able to do some things right. This is the same team that won a knockout game versus France, so we got to always keep that in mind at least. Serbia in Group G, FIFA ranking 21st, group stage in 2010 and 2018. This year's World Cup undoubtedly represents Serbia's best chance of success at the tournament since they became an independent nation in 2006. As part of Yugoslavia, they finished 4th in 1930 and 1962, but since the breakup of that nation, Serbia have only succeeded reaching the group stage in 2018 and 2010, and also 2006 as Serbia and Montenegro. Actually, a nation that people are kind of forgetting about, I feel like, on the big stage here. I wouldn't make them my dark horse, but I actually do rate them as a dark horse more than another team, right? Or some other teams that people are mentioning. I don't even think there's a main narrative here with Serbia. Serbia just needs to play well. They just need to play well and you get it done. Their attackers just need to figure out and score goals when they have opportunities, right? I think that's all what Serbia can depend on. They will have those 50-50 chances to score goals in the box. They need to get it. Simply put, Vlahovic, Mitrovic, you guys have Serbia on your back. We have Brazil in Group G. I would say the most individual talent on one squad probably comes from Brazil, right? They are ranked first. Number 1, Uno. Brazil. They don't talk about making the group stage. They don't talk about the round of 16. They don't talk about quarterfinals, semifinals. They just talk wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002. They're just crack. That's all they do. Brazil have no shortage of World Cup pedigree. They are 5-time winners with the last of those successes back in 2002, and they've head to Qatar as one of the favorites to lift the World Cup on December 18th. Brazil do feel the fear as world's most envied team, but have the temperament and quality to rule in Qatar. For a squad of such talent and nations such of gilded World Cup history, Brazil are looking up ambitiously at a 6th title, not down nervously at the other contenders snapping at their heels. As the fun of the team as it is, there's not much to talk about, right? All I'll say is there is no lack of talent on defense here. Midfield, you have so many decisions to make. Like, the only person I think is a lock is Casemiro, then maybe Fabinho, but I know Bruno Guimaraes is nasty, dude. I know he's nasty for Newcastle. I like him. I think Brazil's gonna be fine. Brazil will be fine. Brazil's getting out of the group. Brazil's gonna go pretty far. Cameroon. We have Cameroon as the last team in Group G. One of the most likely teams to knock it out of the groups. Out of all the teams in the entire tournament, I really think Cameroon's probably the least likely to get out of the groups. This will be Cameroon's 8th appearance at the World Cup, and as you can see here, they are ranked 43rd, and their biggest achievement is 1990 quarterfinals. Not too bad. This will be Cameroon's 8th appearance at the World Cup. They made their competition bow in 1982 and drew all 3 group matches in Spain. Fast forward 8 years, they re-emerged as somewhat of a surprise package at Italia 90, making a permanent imprint on the tournament's history as the only 2 CAF nations other than Egypt to qualify for the finals that year. Too much heralded acclaim that miraculously beat defending champions Argentina led by the late great Diego Maradona before going to reach the quarterfinals, eventually succumbing to Bobby Robson's England. So their forwards are good. Midfield, defense, goalies, maybe if you know a lot more ball, you know some of these players. I can't lie to you guys. I really don't know anyone except for Anguissa in the midfield, defense, or goalies. Oh, I know Onana, but yeah. You could try to spin it like they could get 1 point, but I'm be real, they're not going to get a point. I would be shocked. I don't know who the hell is going to drop a point to Cameroon. It would have to be an unbelievable result for Cameroon to get a point against any 3 of these teams, realistically. Cameroon get a point, that would be the stunning part of this entire group. But I think just to make a simple bet for Group G, Serbia to advance out of Group G at even odds. The last group, Group H, we have one of my favorite teams in the tournament, Portugal, ranked number 9th in the world. They have a 3rd place 1966 finish and a 4th place 2006 finish. Euro 2016 winners, Portugal's route through the World Cup qualification was far from straightforward. With what looked like an uncomplicated qualifying group coming to a close, all Cristiano Ronaldo and company had to do was beat Serbia in the final round of the matches to directly reach Qatar. But a stunning collapse in that match saw Alexander Mitrovic lead the Serbs to a 2-1 win on Portuguese soil, condemning their opponent to the playoffs. Portugal will have to, will have to do this the right way. They're going to have to figure out what is the best team that fits together. If it means Ronaldo doesn't play, then yeah. If Santos straight up said that I think our best squad involves Ronaldo not starting, I guess it is what it is. So we have the nation Uruguay, ranked 14th. They were winners in 1930, 1950, semifinals in 1954, 1970, and 2010. Uruguay are World Cup royalty, despite having a population of only 3.5 million, roughly equivalent in size to the city of Madrid. They are one of only 8 nations who have won it. They are one of only 6 to have done it more than once. That's fucking crazy, dude. Those triumphs came in distant eras. They won in the inaugural World Cup as the host nation in 1930 during a dazzling successful spell in which they also won gold at back-to-back Olympic Games in 1924 and 1928. Then they pulled off a historic upset when they beat Brazil to win it again in 1950. But a nation defined by football continues to punch above its weight. Since 1950, there have been 3 semifinal appearances, the last of which came in South Africa in 2010, when a Uruguay side inspired by the explosive Luis Suarez's performances and infamous handball against Ghana, a side he is now set to meet again 12 years on, captivated viewers across the world. Dude, honestly, if you are underestimating Uruguay, you're just an idiot, like straight up. There is nothing smart about fading Uruguay or thinking they're not good. They are a very, 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 very good nation. Suarez, Nunez, Valverde, Betancourt, Vecino, Pellistri, Araujo, Godin, Jimenez, Oliver, and then Roche. I mean, dude, this squad is probably what they're going to be. This is the most similar squad they're probably going to roll out. I mean, I think Uruguay squad is one of the most, more of a sneaky squad that people don't think about talent-wise until you start looking at every player individually and you're like, oh no. Uruguay has cookers. You just don't think about them that much. But Valverde, probably one of the most interesting players, like one of the most interesting youngsters in the tournament, period, right? Valverde for his nation, bro, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Ghana. Group H, Ghana, ranked 61st seems a bit harsh. Did not think they were ranked 61st. Quarterfinals in 2010, round of 16 in 2006. After disappointing African Cup of Nations campaign last year, Ghana will be hoping to redeem themselves in Qatar. The Black Stars were knocked out of the group stage in AFCON for the first time since 2006. They hold the record for most consecutive semifinal appearances at the tournament, doing so 6 times between 2008 and 2017. Despite their AFCON struggles, Ghana did go to qualify for the World Cup. They topped Group G in the second round of qualification, beating South Africa, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe to first place, setting up a 3rd round playoff fixture against Group C winners and fierce rivals Nigeria for a spot in Qatar. That's insane. Ghana beating Nigeria for a spot in the World Cup's wild, considering how crazy Nigeria is with their football team. You know what? Those 5 players alone, Ayew twins, Inyaki, and Kudus and Partey, those are 5 pretty respectable players to maybe make it happen for Ghana. I'm never the one to shit on Ghana either, because Ghana's given the U.S. so many problems. So they're annoying. They're an annoying team. They're an annoying World Cup team. You do not want to face Ghana in the World Cup. Can't imagine Ghana's going to do too much when you have those 2 squads just down your neck the entire time. South Korea, ranked 28th in the world. Kind of shocking. Again, I don't understand some of these rankings compared to the U.S. Like, I feel like South Korea is a better team than the U.S. I don't know. I just feel like they are. No Asian team has qualified for more World Cups than South Korea, who will be making their 11th appearance at the tournament. They famously reached the semifinals 2 decades ago as they finished 4th when co-hosting with Japan in 2002, but since then, they have only made it out of the group once. Like, I only know a few players on this squad. Probably not expected to make much noise. The only headliner player in this squad is Heung-min Son. And then, like I said, you have Wang Hee-chan, and then you have Kim Min-jae as, like, the other guys who play for good teams, but they're there. I mean, you look at the group again, and it's hard in Group H to be like, yo, anything other than Portugal or Uruguay are going through. You can make a case for Ghana, you can make a case for South Korea. I would say either one, like, no. Realistically, you would need some collapse. You would need a Portugal or Uruguay collapse for it to happen. I'm going to take Uruguay to win the group at 2.85. I still like Portugal. I still think Portugal goes far, but I think Uruguay get this done.